Malice is a 1993 film directed by Harold Becker. It's written by Aaron Sorkin and Scott Frank. And we have a cast including Alec Baldwin, Nicole Kidman, Bill Pullman, Bebe Neuwirth, and Bancroft. Obviously, we have a great cast here. That's just to name just a few as well. And honestly, I didn't like it. I found it to be kind of ridiculous. It is unpredictable. There are some things in this that I did not see coming, and I guess the element of surprise was okay. The story is about a couple, Andy and Tracy, and we have Dr. Jed Hill, who has arrived at the local hospital, and once he arrives, things start to happen between Andy and Tracy and their relationship. Things begin to unravel, and I don't want to say too much more than that, because I don't want to give away, as I said, a lot of it is quite unpredictable, but what happens is not interesting. Just because it's unexpected doesn't mean it's an enjoyable experience. Usually I like it when films have things that I don't see coming, because the element of surprise is usually really enjoyable, but the things that unfold in this I just think were a bit ridiculous. I don't think it was well thought out. I don't think the narrative is very good at all. The characters are okay. The performances are very good. We obviously have a very strong cast, so I enjoyed watching their performances for the most part. But the actual events within the story, as we learn more about Jed, or at least spend more time with him, and then the aspects of Andy and Tracy's relationship that begin to fall apart, and then we learn more about that. We learn more about Tracy. Yeah, I mean, I guess the character, not so much the character development, but the rate at which we learn things about the characters, that's not bad. In fact, the pacing of the film is not bad. It's just the actual specifics of the narrative that I just thought were a little bit ridiculous. And I didn't like it. I wasn't really convinced by it. When it comes to any kind of narrative, for me, one of the key points is this believable? Do I buy this as a narrative? And it's not so much that I don't think any of this could happen, but I didn't believe that it would happen within the context of these characters' lives. For me, it didn't work. I just didn't care for it. I don't think it was a good story. The characters are fine. The performances are obviously fine. But other than that, there's not much else to say. I don't want to say too much about the development of the narrative or what we're told, but for me, it just didn't work. I didn't care for Malice at all. I don't buy the narrative. I don't mind the characters. Obviously, I don't mind the cast. The technical aspects are fine. Camera work's fine. The music's quite good. I quite like the music in this. That definitely was something that worked quite well. But also, it's filmed in Massachusetts, which I rather liked. So I guess there are some good aspects, but coming away from it, I did not feel satisfied with this experience at all. I didn't like it. I don't think Malice is a good story. That being said, it has 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb across 29,000 reviews and ratings. So by all means, pay attention to me, but also if you're curious, then maybe check it out, because it seems like some people actually quite like it. Maybe it's just not for me. Malice was not a good story for me. The characters were fine. The performances were good. A lot of other things worked well enough. Music, camera work, lighting, etc. Everything's fine. But I definitely didn't care for the narrative.